Hi, my name is Dave Walker, and I wrote this book. So I'd like to read you a couple of excerpts from this book. So that's what I'm going to do. So my book is called Mondays Don't Have to Suck. There's a picture of Monday with a tomato splattered on that. So it did suck. And spoiler alert, every other day of the week sucked as well during that period of time in my life. So it says under here, how small changes can make a huge difference. So I made a lot of small changes and ended up in a really nasty place. So that was the first third of my book. And the other 2/3 of my book is finally kind of hitting rock bottom, turning things around and starting to crawl out, make a lot of small changes and get in a much nicer place. So that's a third of the book was kind of nasty. So I'm just spoiler alert right now. It's depressing. And then coming out the other end and sharing a lot of the tools and things that I used to get out of there. So some of you might relate to this. And if you're looking for some tools and to get out of a nasty place as well, I'm hoping that's kind of why I wrote the book and shared it. One man's unintentional journey of life-altering self-transformation. So it was unintentional. I ended up in that nasty place, and I did not ever believe where I would end up as I started going. But the momentum just takes you. It took me to the nasty place. I was able to turn around. It took me to a nicer place. So without further ado, let me read a couple of those excerpts from you. And this is from chapter 2. And this is when I was in my nasty place. And this was chapter 2. I'm calling it Old Dave. And this is one Monday in the fall of 2009. And I put a picture, this is my picture, it's a picture in a food court eating what I used to go and eat all the time was this big meal, big Greek meal with all this, everything on the side and a big soft drink and lots of pita bread. And I also like to put a quote in each chapter. So this quote it's from a group called Talk Talk, and the song is Life's What You Make It. Life's what you make it. Can't escape it. So this is what I had made my life at the time. So this is a picture of my favorite hidden corner at my favorite food court, one of my favorite hangouts, more like Monday morning hideouts. Is it Monday again already? This sucks big time. I hate Mondays. Holy shit, how did I end up here? So this is my Dear Diary entry, Montreal, Monday, sometime in the fall of 2009 at 5:30 a.m. Fuck. I got the 2 stars on there too, so I have to figure out how to edit out the F word. So anyhow, fuck. It's Monday. I gotta get up. I'm feeling blah. The booze from the past 5 days has worn off. I should be thankful hangovers are a thing of the past. That's one of the positive aspects of my body adapting to me drinking 4 to 6 bottles of wine and 12 to 18 bottles of beer a week. So far, my body restricts me to drinking 5 days a week, Wednesdays to Sunday. 5 days with a buzz on is all my body will allow. I've tried unsuccessfully to push it to 6, but my body just can't handle that much booze. And so it does not let me tank up every day of the week. I have quite the routine going. From Wednesday to Friday, I get up around 5:30 a.m. and I go to work. I arrive home at night and pour my first drink after my children are in bed. I get my buzz going and leverage the accompanying energy boost, a result of nice big sugar rush, to squeeze in a couple of hours of work before midnight. So I didn't actually drink while I was at work, but I drank afterwards, big time, and during the weekends. On Saturdays and Sundays, I can't seem to summon the energy to move. Once errands I can't put off are done and child-related activities are complete, I retreat to the den or basement to read newspapers, watch football or hockey or movies, lots and lots of movies. I even pay my 6-year-old son 25 cents to make sure I never have an empty beer bottle in my hand. Wow, what a role model for a dad. The Monday and Tuesday schedules are much like what happens from Wednesday to Friday, but I can't drink on Mondays and Tuesdays. My body just can't do it. So here I am, it's Monday, a day when many people find it tough to get out of bed anyway, and I'm coming off my 5-day binge, and guess what? No booze to help you today, buddy. I'm going to flip a little bit later into there. We're going to come up to 11 a.m. I'm going to skip whatever other nasty thing I was doing there. And these are what I call my best practice. I was in the consulting business for a while. I have what we call best practice. These are some of my best practice nasty tools to just allow me to just ignore the pain I was in and just hide from everything that was going on. So 11 a.m. Time for my depression lunch. I feel so alone. I feel so drained that even getting back to my office is a chore. Sometimes I have trouble breathing. It's like a pain in my gut. I can't tell you how many times I've crashed on the couch at home to read the newspaper or stare at the wall. But I can't crash on my couch because I'm at work. Thankfully, it's time for my preferred workday, non-booze induced escape, my depression lunch. So it's in quotation marks. That was one of my best practices. Time to go hide in the food court near my office. I have a secret spot where no one can find me. I used to limit my lunch breaks to under an hour, but over time that has somehow morphed into 2 hours. I'll go grab something to eat. Reading the paper takes my mind off my misery. I hope I'm not missed at the office. Oh, a spoiler alert, as far as my being at the office and my performance rating went during this period. I'd been there at Deloitte for about 15 years. When I got out of the nasty zone, I had my worst performance rating ever during this period. And, I wasn't going to be there for much longer. For those of you who are thinking, I wonder what's going on with all these, 2-hour lunches and stuff, that's a pretty, stressful and go type of business. Back to reading. Stay focused, Dave. Keeping thoughts of my problems at bay all the time is hard work. Sometimes my mind wanders. I can't help it. Sometimes doubts surface and anxiety takes up residence in my mind. It's hard to describe my feelings, probably because I don't like feeling them. I would rather ignore them and hope they go away on their own. I feel lost, hopeless. They say misery likes company, but I prefer to suffer alone. Oh yes, and no booze till Wednesday. Did I mention I hate Mondays? And I like to leave little notes to myself. And apparently when I wrote this book, which was I think 2018, I was still in the habit of doing notes to myself. I'm going to read you the note to myself on page 17, and then I will leave you in peace. Note to self. I might want to cut down on the fast foods. I stepped on the scale the other night and weighed in at 240 pounds. That's 30 on the BMI scale, which means I'm obese. I'm not surprised. I just can't get myself to exercise no matter what I try. I feel so isolated, but I don't want to talk to anybody about anything. How did I get here? Oops, no thinking. I don't want to think too much. My lunch is getting cold. I gotta go. I gotta eat. I gotta forget. Let's see what's new in the world of sports. And by the way, 240 pounds, my peak was 264 pounds. So you can imagine where I was before that. So anyhow, that was sharing my book. I thought I'd give you a break and read a little bit to you. My book, if you want to get a autographed copy, you reach out to me via email. So my email is Dave, A for Arthur Walker, 123 at outlook.com, or if you want, you can go to Amazon and get one yourself. And if you want me to sign that, reach out and I will. I'll put in a piece of paper and you can put it in there. We live in a very virtual world right now. So either way, I'd love to connect with you, and feel free, if you do read my book, I'd love to hear what you're taking away from it as well. I wrote it to help others. So if I'm helping people either connect or any of the tools that I'm using, I'd love to hear them. Thanks and cheers.